There you go.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to welcome everybody to the July 9th, 2024 Public Safety Committee meeting. It is 11:40 a.m. With us today, we have Chief Justin Snyder, Assistant Chief Jason Bolt, Chris Black, City IT Guru, Councilwoman Bonnie Katz, and myself, John Mackey, Chair of the Public Safety Committee. We have 4 items on the agenda today. And before we get started, Chief Snyder, real quick, I am on a bit of a time crunch. Could you tell me, I couldn't see for sure, do the Child Protection Task Force and the Lantern Foundation, do those have any financial impacts on the city?
No, they do not.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just say we'll talk about those 2 items at the council meeting on Thursday. I'd like to focus more on the officer at the Crosscutters, which is the first item on the agenda, and then the vehicles. So if we want to go right into item number 1, authorizing agreement for extra duty employment between the Williamsport Bureau of Police and the Williamsport Crosscutters. Chief.
Yes, this is a new concept bringing into the city, do extra duties. So this contract between Williamsport Crosscutters, and actually it's Cutting Edge Baseball LLC, and the Williamsport Police, will allow for us to cover their games, their home games for the 2024 season. So we derived a contract. Real quick on the contract, there is a typo in there, an error in there with one of the numbers. So I wanted to identify that first. So the hourly rate that you see at $44.56 is actually going to be $66.84 is what we'll be reimbursed for. So all the hours that are worked for the home games, there'll be 1 to 2 officers that work the home games. Williamsport Crosscutters has agreed to reimburse us for the cost of those officers at the game. And it will not, it's a duty, it's an extra duty beyond the police duties of a police officer. So it doesn't take anything away from the patrol force providing a service to the community, just for clarity. The contract was looked at and approved by our solicitor, Austin White. So I'll open it up for any questions if you have, sir.
Bonnie, I'll open the floor to you. Any questions?
Chief, this is more or less what we do up at the high school with the officer up at the high school. You know, and I know it's a little different. Okay, this is a sporting event, but we get reimbursed also with the officer up at the high school. This covers the expense of the vehicle and everything else. And is this good? I'm trying to get my mind together here, wrap this around here. Insurance wise, they're still going to be covered by the city insurance.
Yes, everything falls under the city.
Everything falls on the city. So all we're doing is putting the bodies and the car available at the Crosscutters games.
That's it.
Okay. Which I think is probably well needed. How many games do you think there is? Do you know? I didn't see that in the contract.
I believe it's going to be, I'm just looking real quick. 1, 2, 3. About 35 to 40 home games, I believe it is.
Okay, 34 to 35. Okay.
I can get the exact number for you, ma'am.
Okay, and do you think this is going to take 1 or 2 officers? Because it says 1 or 2.
Yeah, we try to provide 2, but in the event that the city is the priority. So in the event that we're not able to, and even in the event that we're not able to.
Boy, are you skipping out here, let me tell you.
So, I mean, anything that happens in the city, that takes precedence over anything at the Crosscutters game or any extra duties for that matter. So we want to try to give them 2 officers, as we talked about with the representatives at the Crosscutters. But they understand also, as it says in the contract, that priority goes to the city. So in the event that we can't provide, we're not obligated to provide them.
And the only other question I have, are these officers that were going to be on duty anyhow?
No, this is extra duties. So it's not going to interfere with any of the ongoings of the day-to-day operations of the police department. So it's not going to affect any of the shifts. or anything, or the service that were provided to the city, it's extra duty. So they'll come in extra duty aside from their regular duty shifts. And then the cross cutters, as they agreed to reimburse us for that.
Okay, and this is then not going to be charged as overtime?
No, that's the reimbursement. So
That's
the
just
officers-
there's
we'll
no
get the-
overtime.
So the officers will get the extra duty as overtime, but that's going to be the reimbursed number.
Okay, all right. Just want to make sure that we are covered, our bases are covered at the city.
Yes, yep.
Okay, I'm,
Add into that, it is exactly 40 games that they have home games.
okie dokie. Thank you, chief. I'm John, I don't have any other
okay.
questions.
All right, Bonnie. Chief, so just for clarification, we're dealing with one hourly rate, and that is 66.84, regardless of whether it's a holiday or not.
Yes, yes.
And prior to this contract, when I've seen police officers inside the stadium, those have been regular duty police officers who are just there.
Yes, if
Checking in on-
that falls in their zone, they would just ride through just to provide a presence.
Okay. All right. No, I mean, I think this is a good idea. So yeah, I have nothing further. With that being said, we'll move to the next item. Again, we will be skipping the Lantern Foundation and the National Child Protection Task Force items and speak about those Thursday night. So that brings us to agenda item number 3, resolution authorizing the purchase of 4 pursuit-rated police vehicles and related upfit equipment. Chief Snyder.
Yes, so I bring to you a resolution for your review and approval is a resolution authorizing the purchase of 4 2024 Dodge Durango pursuit-rated vehicles from New Holland Group. They're from 508 West Main Street in New Holland, PA. To include and this would also include the cost of upfit of each vehicle by 10-8 Emergency Vehicle Services at 501 B East Main Street, also in New Holland, PA. The total cost would be $234,540.54. As we talked about before during budget sessions, this would be allocated through the ARPA funding. And I can do a breakdown. So a cost breakdown, we would do 2 2024 marked Dodge Durango police vehicles at $46,460. 2 of them would be $92,920. Then we would have 2 2024 unmarked Dodge Durango police vehicles. That would be at $46,396 per vehicle. So 2 would be at a cost of $92,792. Then 2 marked upfits for Dodge Durangos would be $15,655.42 a piece. So for 2, it'd be $31,310.84. And then the 2 unmarked, the upfits for those would be at $8,758.85 a piece. So 2 of them would be at $17,517.70. So again, I would give a grand total of $234,540.54. I know that was a lot of numbers thrown at you. I just want to get it down for record. The purchase of these vehicles to include the upfits would be per PA CoStar's contract.
Everybody?
I'm sorry?
Oh, it was crickets. Couldn't hear a word. Are we having problems, Chris, with the internet right now? Because I'm losing a lot of
No,
dialogue.
everything working fine on this end.
Okay, yeah, I just lost a lot of dialogue. I'll catch up, no problems. Because we're
Are
on.
you hearing me okay, Mr. Mackey?
Yeah, I can hear you okay.
Okay. So then to purchase these vehicles to include the upfits would be per PA CoStar's contract number 012 E22259. They're forgoing the bidding process. So, and I gave you guys an itemized list for all the invoices and upfit invoices as well. So I'll open that up for any questions that you may have.
Chief, I have 2 questions, Chief. Was this in the proposed with the CARES Act before? Was this part of what you proposed?
Yes.
Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, please explain to me why there's such a difference with marked and unmarked vehicles of what goes in. What's the big difference?
Well, the unmarked is the marked vehicles that you see are the ones with the writing on the side, the decals. the overt lighting. Upfits, or excuse me, the upfits for unmarked are just about half of that. So you're not going to have the decals. You're not going to have the lighting package on the top. You will have a lighting package, but it's not the same as the marked. So that's the difference in cost there. Those will be used for the criminal investigative unit and the administration. So we try to keep all the marked vehicles for the patrol functions.
I kind of assumed the lighting had a lot to do with this, so, but I just wanted to clarify it. I don't have any other questions, John.
Okay, thanks, Bonnie. Yeah, and you broke up a little bit there. Chief, could you remind me again where the funding for this is coming from?
This is the ARPA funding.
ARPA funding, great.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just obviously I'm okay with this purchase, but just kind of a thought as to marked and unmarked vehicles. I feel, well, I guess let me take a step back. First of all, question, how do you feel like the Dodge Durango is performing? I know we have some of those already in terms of everyday use. I mean, I'm assuming these are probably a little bit more handy in the winter time.
Yes, overall, the response from everybody's been a positive response with these vehicles.
Okay. And then as far as the marked and unmarked, I feel like we've gotten away from our more traditional yellow, white, black color scheme. The newer vehicles I'm seeing, the marked ones, sometimes during the day, absent the lights on top, almost feel like they're unmarked. Is that kind of the direction we're going to still be heading?
Yeah, we're going to stay with this scheme right now. Right now, nothing to or give reason to change it. The unmarks are actually going to be, they're going to be gray vehicles.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I was just curious. I do feel like absent the light bars on the top of some of our police vehicles, they are sometimes hard to identify, at least the marked ones, as police vehicles because of how dark the color scheme is. I don't, and that's just,
they all do have a lighting package on top.
yeah.
The unmarked, they'll have a lighting package within inside and within
Sure.
the group and whatnot. So.
Okay. Yeah, no, I have no other questions.
I'm going to say this, John. I'm going to date myself here. When I was growing up in Philly, the police cars were all red. So, and as a kid running away, the red cars are coming. The red cars are coming, and now we're going into all these years later, going into cars that you have to look twice to see that they're police cars sometimes because of our color scheme. So that could be good, that could be bad.
So, Councilwoman Katz, you're saying as a child you ran from the police? Is that what I'm
Yes, I did.
All right, just making sure. Well, that again, I have no further questions about the police vehicles, which would bring us to item 5. Any related items? Bonnie, do you have anything?
Not a thing, no.
Chief Snyder, Assistant Chief Bolt, do you have anything?
Nope, not at this time. Nope.
Great. Okay. And I should just remind everybody, this is a remote meeting. It was discussion only. We took no votes. We took no advice, gave no advice or recommendations. So with that, I will call this meeting to a close, and I will see everybody Thursday night at the City Council meeting. Have a good day.
Thursday. Take care.
All right, thank you.
I got on time for you, John.
Appreciate everybody. Thank you.
Have a good day, everyone.
Bye now.